I'm going to show you guys how to make the best oxtail of your life. This recipe is so good. So first, you just want to start by washing your oxtail really good. Second, we're going to move on to something called a secondary wash with the oxtail, and that is with coffee. I know it sounds kind of weird, but just trust me, it adds such a special flavor to this dish. So take your coffee, any kind of coffee you got, it doesn't matter, and pour it all over the oxtail. And then you want to take about 60 seconds and massage it into the oxtail really, really good, just like this. And then you're going to dump the coffee off, and then you're going to rinse the coffee off. And then you're going to dump all that water off right there, rinse all that water off, set the oxtail aside. Move on to your veggies. Give everything a really rough chop. It doesn't matter. You don't have to chop everything all fancy or dice it up, because when you cook these veggies, they're just going to cook down to nothing. So just rough chop everything, just like you see here. And then also, you guys, make sure you use a red onion. Red onions are really special because they're more mild type of onion, but they have such a special and unique flavor. And then, of course, garlic. You can't make oxtail without garlic. Move on to your seasonings, the basics, salt and pepper, just like you see here. And then you're going to squeeze some lime all over the oxtail, okay? And then, of course, as my husband says, never underestimate the power of oregano. I actually used to yell at him for using so much oregano, but then when the dish was finished and I was eating it, it was so good, so I just kind of shut up. So add all your seasonings, just like this. Add your habanero, and then you're going to add the orange juice. The orange juice is the secret ingredient of this whole recipe. It's a Caribbean thing. Ask my husband about it. So add your veggies, and you're going to marinate it, ideally overnight, but you can also do a 2 to 4 hour marinade as well. We've done that before, and it still comes out phenomenal. So take it out of the fridge after it has marinated, and you're going to add some sugar to your pot. Now, the reason we're going to add some sugar is because we're going to brown the oxtail, and the sugar does two things. One, it caramelizes it when you're browning it, and two, it tenderizes the oxtail. So add the sugar, brown your oxtail, and then get a little aggressive with it, but don't walk away. You don't want to burn it, but you want it to look like that. So you want it to get that nice caramelized texture to the outer part of the oxtail, but there's a fine line with burning it too, so be really careful not to burn it. Then you're going to dump all of the marinating juices and veggies all over your oxtail, and then you're going to add a little bit of tomato sauce, not too much because we have the orange juice, so we don't want to overdo the tomato sauce because then you're going to overdo the acidity. The beer helps cut down the acidity and just kind of gives it that nice little beer aroma, I guess you could call it. Then you're going to add a little bit of extra water. You don't ever want this to get dry, so you always want the liquid to remain. So add water as needed throughout the cooking process. Cover it up with the lid, and you're going to just simmer it just like you see here. See how this is like a nice low simmer? You want to do that for like 4 to 6 hours until the meat is nice and tender and falling off of the bone. So that's what it's going to look like right there. A lot of the liquid is gone, but it's still a little bit wet and juicy like you see here. Okay? And then you're going to serve it with some white rice and just the oxtail. Typically we'll do a little bit of salad too, but we didn't go to the store and get a salad that night. But there it is, you guys. Holy crap. Yum. Yum. That's all I got to say.